my name's Kim and today I'm going to be taking you through some basic Pilates exercises on the gym ball. Gym balls are a great way of increasing the work of your core muscles as they're a little bit unstable, so you have to work that a little bit harder to keep your position while you're doing your exercises. This video would be great if you've already done my basic Pilates exercises on the mat and are looking for a way to progress those exercises on. Also, if you find it hard to get on and off the floor, starting Pilates exercises in a seated position may be more comfortable for you. Also, if you're pregnant and you're unable to do the Pilates exercises on the floor anymore, you might want to try and do them on a gym ball to strengthen those core muscles before labour. If you have any pre-existing health conditions, please check with your healthcare provider before doing the exercises in this video. Also, if you have any new injuries that you haven't had checked out already, please also see your healthcare provider before doing any exercises. Equipment wise, for this video, you only need a gym ball and a mat. If you don't have a gym ball, don't worry, you can do the exercises in a dining room chair. Just make sure that you sit towards the edge of the dining room chair so you're not slumped on the back. If you're a child doing this video, if you're sat in a chair, just make sure you can get your feet flat on the floor and you're not tipped right to the front of the chair. If you've got a gym ball, just make sure it's not too big. Ideally, you want to be able to sit at 90 degrees. So you've got 90 degrees at your knee, 90 degrees at your hips. So you don't want a huge gym ball. Usually a medium or a smaller gym ball works for most people. If it is too big, don't let the air out of it and make it all saggy because that will make everything a little bit more difficult. If you can do it in a chair instead, that's great. You can do it on a tall gym ball, it just makes it a little bit more tricky. Okay, so we're going to do a little warm up, which we're going to do in sitting today, and we're going to go through the exercise and have a quick stretch at the end. Okay, please make sure you've already watched my other video on how to engage your core before you start this video. If you haven't watched it, pause the video now. Watch the other video so you're aware of where your core is and how to engage it before you start this video, as I'm only going to say engage your core. I'm not going to take you through the whole thing. Okay, so let's start the warm up. So we're going to start from our feet and work all the way up to our heads. We're going to start with our feet next to each other. We're going to do our toes out to the side and then our heels out to the side. So that puts your feet hip width apart. Going to make sure your knees are over your toes. So you should just be able to see your toes, but not too much of your feet. This just makes sure that your knees are bent and you're not leaning too far back. From there, we're going to come up to your hips. So I want you to imagine your hips are in our bucket of water, and we're going to do some tucking your bottom underneath you and sticking your bottom out. So tucking your bottom under and sticking your bottom out. So if I show you that from the side, it looks like this. So that might be quite difficult for some people. You might find that you're quite stiff in your hips. If so, just do a few rocks there, just try and loosen up those hips. You might want to do a few of these every day if that is the case. So carry on doing a couple more each way. And then you're going to find somewhere in the middle so your bucket of water is nice and level. From there, you're going to come up to your ribs. So you want to keep your ribs nice and relaxed. So if you take a nice deep breath in and all the way out, and then you want to keep your ribs in this nice relaxed position as you breathe out. So imagine the air is coming into your lungs and out to the side. So you still want to breathe, but you want to avoid your ribs flaring forwards. Lovely. Good. From there, we're going to come up to your shoulders. So you're going to shove your shoulders up to your ears, take them back behind you and drop them down. So you want this nice open position with your shoulders. Imagine you've got a nice necklace on, or if you're a boy and you've got a t-shirt on and you want to see more of the seams of the t-shirt, so you're opening up those shoulders. From there, I'm going to imagine you've got a helium balloon on the top of your head, so you're pulling up nice and tall. And we've got our peach under our chin. So we want to keep a nice long neck and keep our peach nice and safe. We don't want to come down and squash our peach or come up too far so it rolls away. Brilliant. From there, we want to engage those core muscles. So we're going to keep that nice position. You can either rest your hands on your lap or down by the side. Don't push on the gym ball because that's cheating. So we're just going to start by just doing some heel lifts just to warm up those feet. Lovely. So we want to keep up nice and tall, keep those core muscles working nice and strong to keep us in that nice position. Good stuff. So just keep those legs going, one heel up and then the other heel up. Try not to take your foot completely off the floor at the moment because you probably will fall or float off the other way. Good. So from there, we're going to come up and warm up our hips and knees. Now, a great way to do this is to have a bounce on the ball. If you're a kid, this is great fun. Good stuff. Lovely. Just go careful that you don't fall off the ball. And if you're a kid and you want to make this a little bit more fun, you can get mum or dad or brothers or sisters to shout stop, and then you have to stop as quickly as you can without doing extra bounces. Makes your core muscles and your tummy muscles work quite hard. So see if you can bounce, and then somebody will shout stop, and you stop as dead as you can. Brilliant, well done. So from there we're going to come up to our arms. So we're going to put elbows in by our sides. Imagine you've got two big plates of food in your hands, and you're going to cross your hands over the top of each other, and then out to the side. Good. Well done. So keeping up nice and tall, no slouching forwards. Make sure you've got your peach under your chin still. Bucket of water is nice and level. Good stuff. Well done. And then we're going to make it a little bit harder. So we're going to come out to the side, and you're going to take your arms all out to shoulder height. Turn your hands over, turn them back, come in and round. Good. Well done. Just keep up nice and tall. Keep those core muscles working. Don't worry if you're wobbling a little bit. You're on a ball filled with air, so you're going to wibble a little bit. Lovely, well done. And resting down there. Then we're going to do a big stretch up in the air and a stretch over to the side. You can look down if it feels comfortable. Good, and then let your arm come all the way around. Good, and up the other side. Really little stretch over, so you're stretching the opposite side to the way that you're looking. Good, coming all the way down and up. And then we're just going to do a little roll through the spine. We're not going to do a full roll that we did in the other video because you will fall on the floor, and we don't want that. So from that nice sitting position that we've got, you're going to tuck your chin to your chest so you're looking down, and then you're just going to roll down the first bit of your spine. So you're going to let your head come down, shoulders come down, ribs come down, and then we're going to stack back up again. So ribs coming up, shoulders coming up, head coming up. And again, so head coming down, shoulders, ribs, and then stacking back up again. Lovely. You're going to do it one more time. I'm just going to go sideways so you can see what I'm doing from the side. So going head down first, shoulders, ribs, and then coming back up again. Good, well done. Okay, so it should be nice and warm now. It should feel a lot like those muscles have worked a little bit. So now we're going to go on to our exercises. So the first exercise we're going to do is hundreds. So just make sure you're in that nice position still and you haven't moved. So your feet are hip width apart, you've got a little gap between your knees. Your knees are over your toes so you can just about see your toes. Hips are nice and level, so we've got our bucket of water nice and level. Ribs nice and relaxed. Shoulders nice and open, up nice and tall with the peach under our chin. So for this exercise we're going to drop our arms down by our sides. You're going to stretch your arms down towards the floor. Make sure as you stretch them down you don't pull your arms down, so you want to stay up nice and tall, and then you're going to pulse your arms forwards and backwards like you're trying to fly. Okay? So you want to keep everything as still as you can apart from your arms. So make sure those core muscles are really working hard, and you're just going to pulse your arms. So these are called hundreds because you're supposed to do 100 of them, but you might want to start with just do as many as you can. You want to make sure you're doing a really good position while you're doing this and not just trying to do 100. You're doing really well. Keep going. Good, and then have a little rest there. I'm just going to do it again from the side so you can see what I'm doing. So, nice position up nice and tall, arms down by your side, pulsing forwards and backwards. Good. So, pause the video there, and then you can do a couple more sets of those as you're able to. Build it up slowly so that you're not really aching in your arms and your back. Well done. So to make that a little bit harder, we can start lifting our heels. So, same exercise, so we're going to do our hundreds again. This time we're going to see if we can lift one heel off the floor to make it a little bit harder. With a heel off the floor, it just means you're a little bit more unstable than when you were just sat with both feet on the floor. So it makes your core muscles work that little bit harder. So same position, just have a little run through to make sure you haven't moved. Engaging those core muscles, arms down by your side. Now pick which leg you like to start with. So you're going to raise one heel off the floor and you're going to pulse your arms from there. So you can do this if you found the first exercise of just doing the arms a little bit easy and you want more of a challenge. Good. And then once you've done as many as you can on one side. You're going to take your heel down, swap to the other side. So we've done both legs. Good. Remember to use those core muscles because it will help you stay nice and stable on the ball. Good. And have a little rest there. Well done. Right then, we're going to go on to our next exercise, which is our double leg stretch. So we're going to start this exercise with just our arms. So, same position, sat on the ball. So feet nice and flat on the floor, knees with a little gap between and knees over toes, bucket of water nice and level, ribs nice and relaxed, shoulders nice and open, peach under your chin, up nice and tall. So for this one, we're going to bring our arms up in front of us to start. Now, let's imagine you're holding a ball, okay? And we're just going to take our arms up into the air and then back down to chest height. Lovely. So we did this before in the other video on the mat, and we had the mat behind us and the floor so that we couldn't move our backs too much. Now that you're sat on a gym ball, you've got nothing behind you, so you can wiggle all over the place. So you want to make sure that you stay in a nice straight position with your back. So you want to almost imagine that the floor is still there. Good stuff. So just take your arms to where's comfy. You don't have to go all the way up by your ears. And keep an eye on those shoulders. So as you bring your arms up, make sure your shoulders don't come up as well. So keep them nice and relaxed. Good stuff. I'm just going to do it from the side so you can see from the side. So you're going to go up and down. So keeping up nice and tall, peach under your chin, engaging those core muscles. Good, well done. Brilliant. Have a little pause there. Do a couple more sets of 10 of those exercises as you're able to, so you can get a little bit stronger. As you get better at that exercise, you might want to add your legs in as well for a bit more of a challenge. So same position again, up nice and tall, engaging those core muscles. You're going to bring your arms up to start. Now this time, as you take your arms up, you're going to slide one leg out in front of you, and then you're going to bring your arms back to the start position and your leg back in. Then you can do the same on the other leg. So arms up, leg coming out, and then coming back in. Good. Well done. So it's a little bit more of a challenge, and you've got to really rely on your core muscles to keep you nice and still. Now you want to make sure as you do this exercise, as you take your arms up and your leg out, that you don't roll forward. You want to stay nice and still, so the foot that's still on the floor wants to stay nice and still on the floor. Good stuff. Again, try not to arch your back, stay in a really nice position. Really use those core muscles. Good. If you're finding it quite hard to keep that position with your arms, you can get a small ball or a football, so something to hold, especially if you're a kid and you want to have a hold of a ball. It sometimes feels a bit nicer. So you can do the whole exercise holding an object. Make sure it's nothing too heavy though. Good. Well done. So pause the video there. You can do a few more sets of 10 of that exercise. Brilliant. So we're going to move on now to our scissors exercise. Now this one is a little bit more of a challenge. If you're sat on a chair, it should be okay still. If you're on the gym ball, it's a little bit tricky. So if it's too hard, don't do it. Just move on to the next exercise. So you don't need your arms for this exercise. You can either rest them on your lap or hang them by your side. Don't push them on the gym ball because that's cheating. So we're going to start in our nice sitting position. So feet flat on the floor, gap between your knees, hips nice and level, up nice and tall, shoulders open, peach under your chin, engaging those core muscles. So you're going to start by just lifting one heel up into the air and down, and the other heel up into the air and down. So exactly the same as our warm-up. Lovely. So while you're doing this, you just want to make sure that your position hasn't changed at all. So you're still up nice and tall, you're not swaying one way and then the other way. Just nice and even. You might find this a bit of a challenge, and if that's the case, then this is the right level for you at the moment. Good stuff, well done. So nice and simple so far, hopefully. So to make it a little bit harder, we're going to see if you can lift your foot off the floor. So you're going to have to use those core muscles to make sure that you don't fall off. Good. If you find it quite tricky doing it with the leg lift, you can add in an opposite arm lift just to balance yourself out a bit. Good. Really use those core muscles. This is quite a challenging exercise as it involves quite a lot of balance, which means that your brain is probably not thinking about your position, which is really important. If that's the case, if you've got yourself into a really funny position, it's a little bit too hard at the moment, so you might want to just start with the heel lifts and gently come up to this once you're able to. Good, one more each side. Good, if you manage to do that, fantastic. Have a pause of the video now, you can do a couple more steps if you're able to. If that's enough, just stop there, that's absolutely fine. So we're going to give the legs a rest for a minute now, and we're going to go on to our arms. So we're going to look at our spine twist exercise. So same position, sit up nice and tall, engaging those core muscles, nice open shoulders. And for this exercise, we're going to bring one arm over the top of the other. Now, we're going to imagine that our nose is attached to our arms in the middle, so you're not allowed to turn your head away from your arms. Wherever your arms go, your head has to follow. We also want to make sure that our shoulders stay nice and relaxed, so we don't end up like this. Lovely. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our arms round to the side, and then we're going to bring them back to the middle again, and same to the other side. Good. So this exercise is working on the rotation of your spine, and it's quite nice for a little stretch. You want to take it to a comfortable position, don't push it if it's achy or sore. Good stuff, well done. Again, think about those shoulders, make sure they're not up in the air, nice and relaxed. And make sure your arms aren't dropping, keep them up in line with your shoulders. Good, keep engaging those core muscles. If you have a little wobble, that's okay, it just means you're working hard. If you have a big wobble and you fall off, just go really careful. Good, one more each side. Last one. Brilliant, have a little rest there. Have a little wiggle of that back. Stretch those muscles out. Well done. So pause the video there and you can do another couple of sets of those exercises as you're able to. Brilliant, and then we're going to start our last exercise, which is our arm opening exercise. So again, it's a little bit of a rotation for your spine, so just go nice and careful. Same position before we start, so we're in a nice sitting position, up nice and tall, engaging those core muscles. We're going to bring both our arms up in front of us to start, and we're just going to take one arm out to the side, and you're going to follow it with your head. So imagine your nose is now attached to your thumb. So as you move your arm out, you're going to keep looking at your thumb, and then you're going to bring it back in again. And then we're going to swap to the other side. So the other arm is going to come out and back in. Good. You can go as far behind you as you want, but you want to make sure you keep that good position with your spine. So you don't want to go into a funny position and arch your back to go further. Some people are really flexible and they're able to go really far behind, and other people aren't. It doesn't matter. Good, so keep those core muscles working really hard. Try and stay as still as you can on that gym ball. Good stuff. Keep those shoulders down, so don't let them rise up. Good, last one. Good, and rest your arms down there. Fantastic, so that is all the exercises we're going to do for today. We're just going to do a little quick stretch of our arms. So we're going to take one arm across, hold it there. Good, and then the other one. Good, one arm over your head. Good, stretch up. And the other one. Good, we're going to just do a little roll of those arms. Good stuff, and the other way. Well done, you've completed your first exercise on the gym ball. Have a go at practicing them at home so you get stronger, and hopefully I'll see you again soon. Thank you, bye.